Imagine yourself a bored inner-city child. You have ambitions and energy that extend far beyond your ability in school or video games. You look around and you see nothing but crowded intersections, preoccupied civilians, and construction. However, you do notice a billboard for the Yosemite National Park. You see a forest that makes you question what you actually have known about nature and what you've been disconnected from. The questions you have as you look at a forest that makes you forget the industrial construction that's taking place next door. You find yourself longing for an escape from this metropolis, and at last you found it, Boy Scouts. The Boy Scouts of America is a unique and formative organization. This organization offers children of all backgrounds a chance to meet and extend their potential as human beings. Whether it's skills such as first aid or virtues such as independence and goal-setting ability, scouting can further the potential of the youth in America. Scouting doesn't appeal to everyone, however, and each generation is becoming less and less likely to enter the children into scouting. This has taken a toll on membership. And without membership, scouting will be disbanded. It is up to you, as future parents, to encourage your children to enter scouting. I am here today to tell you of the benefits of scouting, the threat that membership decline poses to scouting, and to describe a world without Boy Scouts of America. Which brings me to my first point. The American youth has no outlet like scouting that can both educate and demonstrate real-life skills. Scouting is empowering. Through merit badges, campouts, and community service, Scouts are taught important skills and virtues. Community service teaches obedience and gratefulness for what you have in your life. This is something that is very void in the American society, especially in our youth. I personally would appreciate more youth to be more grateful about what they do have, and I believe that community service is a fantastic way for our youth to experience that. Campouts challenge children and remove them from their inner city comfort zones. There's nothing like being in a tent that you pitched yourself, getting ready to cook food for yourself, that really teaches you more gratefulness of what you have in your everyday life, being able to use a microwave and heat up a hot pocket. And in a campout, you really just get to reflect on what you can and can't do to provide for yourself. And this reflection is what's going to be able to help is what's going to give these kids insight as to what they need to focus on and grow on as human beings. Merit badges teach real-world skills and also help Scouts develop long-term goal accomplishing skills. Some of these merit badges, financial planning, for example, requires the youth about the age of 13 to track their financial income and output for 90 days. Who here thinks that they would be benefited from tracking their financial spending for 90 days? Show of hands. It's pretty helpful to help you develop a budget, and to get this experience at the age of 13 is incredibly formative on youth. Robert Berkby, National President of the Boy Scouts of America, defined scouting as a perfect way to expose sheltered children to the trials and formative challenges of the outdoors. Berkby, 2011. I was engaged in scouting for more than 11 years and have personally experienced the effects that scouting can have on a child. I was an inner city child. I came from Stockton. There's not a lot of wildlife in Stockton, and there's not a lot of fun things to do. So the funnest thing you can do in Stockton is to leave. And I took advantage of that. I left as much as I could, and I'm happy that I did. Scouting got me all over the country, but that's a story for another day. Scouting is empowering. Now, anyone can read off a list of the benefits of scouting, but I'm here to tell you more about the serious need for action that each of us have to take to preserve the organization of scouting. As membership decreases, the amount of federal funding for scouting proportionally decreases. In the last 10 years, scouting has experienced a 10% membership decline. A 10% drop in funding means a 10% decrease in scouting's national ability to pay its expenses. Expenses like improving campsite conditions, fewer scoutmasters are going to be educated properly and have the resources to lead a troop, and a halt in new merit badge development. Now, it's difficult to make it clear in a speech what things like merit badge development and campsite maintenance mean to Scouts, but for a Scout who's looking forward to all year for a week away in the forest as their summer camp, to get there and the bathrooms don't have any running water and their tents have holes in them, it's pretty disappointing. I've been there, And it's directly a result of membership decrease because that's our funding being cut, so we don't have what we need to support ourselves. Scouting also pays outrageous insurance rates to protect its members while on outings. As you can imagine, the insurance rates for a bunch of 13-year-olds being given shotguns and be spending time and hiking around the forest is pretty high. One kid dies from a bear, and it gets pretty expensive to insure millions of children across the nation. So a 10% decrease in these millions of dollars being spent to protect these children for insurance rates and medical coverage, it does take its toll. And a 10% cut in that doesn't directly mean that these kids aren't going to be covered, but it does mean that it's going to be more expensive for the individual scout to pay their dues. This threat is conquerable, however, and it is going to require action taken by the students in this very room. To improve your child's future, the nationwide organization of Scouting, parents must encourage their children to join Scouting. Studies show that if a parent gets involved with their child in a troop, both parties are more likely to be engaged and happy with the experiences and the outings. This is according to Robert Fogelman in 2014. Parents hold large influence on whether or not their child will experience Scouting to its full potential. As someone who had a supportive parent base going through Scouting, I can clearly see the difference between Scouts who had difficulty getting their parents to take them to weekly meetings. It's night and day between these kids enjoying it, and it's also night and day between what you can truly get out of the Scouting opportunity if your parents are more likely to be supportive and involved. Now, visualize a world in which Scouting is exponentially more common. If our generation were to actively enter their children into Scouting, both the organization and the individual are going to benefit from these experiences. More outings and opportunities can be made available with a more broad membership base. Robert Johnson writes that new members can improve Scouting because more funding opens doors for lower dues, cheaper campouts, and funding for new merit badges. Robert Johnson, 2001. Scouting is empowering. As you can see, the Boy Scouts is a unique asset to the American community. It supplies opportunity and adventure that is foreign to most modern-day youth. This organization, though, needs our help. The Boy Scouts in America is experiencing crippling membership decreases. Here is a bar graph illustrating the projected 2020 and 2025 membership declines compared to the current day membership declines. As you can see, the taller graph is current membership, and it decreases slowly over time. However, as I said, the simple effects that a 10% membership decrease can have, following this pattern, Scouting's outlook doesn't look very good. These consistent decreases will lead to dropped outings, abandoned membership, or abandoned merit badges, and troops being disbanded due to rising membership costs. As I said earlier, a scout has to pay dues to be in Scouting, and if these dues are exponentially increased, then a scout will be pretty likely to not be able to afford it, and that's a direct result of other scouts not participating because membership decline increases membership dues. If our generation were to revive Scouting and participate in its efforts, your children will be able to experience these opportunities. I can say that I am happy that my parents introduced me to Scouting 11 years ago. Don't you want your children to be able to say the same? Thank you.